Hi, welcome, welcome. So glad you've joined me. This is Kelly Pitts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. And I have a whole group of paper crafters here in this community, and we call ourselves the Create with Kelly crew. So glad you've joined. Just tuning in makes you a part of our crew if you want to be. We don't have a lot of rules. We have a lot of fun with this little group. So glad you've joined, whether you are live or watching a replay on YouTube or on Facebook Live. I appreciate you tuning in and hope you learned something today and have a little fun. We are going to make a beautiful card that is made using the silver foil paper that is in the annual catalog, and it's called a silver foil specialty paper. But when I got it, I felt like one sheet was silver and the other two were kind of purplish. And I could never figure out exactly what I wanted to do with them because they didn't really match any of our other purple colors. So I decided this would make a beautiful Christmas card, and it is really elegant. I want to show you how gorgeous that paper is with the Wintry. This is the Wintry 3D embossing folder on this side. And then this side is the Quatrefoil Tile folder. And those are both in the annual catalog. They're not in the holiday catalog. They are in the annual catalog. And then we have some of the snowflake vellum that I have fussy cut out for the front. These two, this one is flocked. The snowflake is flocked. It's from the same vellum paper that this is. So I'm excited that you've tuned in, and please let me know. I'm going to look and see if I have any comments. Thank you, Janice. Thank you for sharing. And I appreciate you watching. Thanks for everybody. If you have any friends who might be crafty or might enjoy watching a crafty project, I'd love for you to share and let them know I'm available if they need a demonstrator or they need somebody to share some tips with them or some design ideas, some card ideas, some gift tag ideas, anything like that. I'm happy to help. Excuse me. Okay, we are going to have a Create with Kelly crew happy hour later today. So I have done a lot of the prep work on the card. We're going to go ahead and go full screen on here. Excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat. And we will be using, let's go over that first. This is from the holiday catalog, or the mini July to December catalog. This is the specialty snowflake paper that comes in 12 by 12. It's a specialty vellum paper. And you get 6 sheets, 2 each of 3 designs. So there's an iridescent foil and white flocking that in 3 different designs. Some of them are kind of snowflakes and some are more almost like a polka dot snowflake. And then we're also using this gorgeous stamp set called Hope and Peace. That is item number 159773. And the vellum paper I forgot to give you was 159832. That's the item numbers for that. And I do sell all the products that we will be using today. They're all Stampin' Up. Some are from the annual catalog, like I said, and some are from the mini catalog. We're also going to use the deckled edge rectangles. We're going to move this card real quick so you can see kind of what we're using. So if you have any and want to craft along, you're welcome to. These are the deckled rectangles dies, 159173. Then we also will be using this label from the seasonal labels dies. And this is number 156299. And this comes with the painted Christmas. We recently did a video showing some of the painted Christmas cards that I had done for a class recently. But it's just amazing to look at that at the paper and see the difference that the embossing makes. But I decided that it really, to finish the card off, it needed it on the inside as well as on the outside. So rather than have you watch me crank this through 4 different times through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I went ahead and got those ready for us. So we've got a sheet of basic white, and let's see, we used, let's see if I've got these measurements for you. I had a little ruler right here, and of course now I'm not seeing it. I covered it up, I guess. But it should be, let's see, maybe, no. Let's see if there's one in this drawer that we can locate. Okay, well, it is 8.5 by 5.5, and rather than scoring at 4 1/4 like we normally do, this would be half. So this would be 2 1/8 in from each end. And we'll just use our bone folder and get this burnished really well. Try to keep this on camera. And please let me know if you tune in, where you're watching from and how you heard about me. I'm excited to have Janice watching. I'm kind of have a different time today because I had a dental appointment, so I couldn't really do it right at noon. And then we've got our Create with Kelly crew is getting together for happy hour at English Newsome Cellars. So we've heard that's fun, and we wanted to give that a try. I don't know if y'all need to see me or not. We'll put me really small over there just in case y'all you feel more like it's a little more personal this way. All right, we've got our card base ready. We're going to get our little silicone glue mat to keep from making a mess. And then we have, I normally use liquid glue most of the time, but I have found with foils, sometimes it shows through. So what we're going to do is use Stampin' Seal. And this is the foil paper that this one is a little bit darker purple color that comes in that silver pack. And you can see how gorgeous that is with the Quatrefoil Tile. And this is a full-size folder, embossing folder. It's 158655. 158655. Quatrefoil Tile. And then on the other side, the softer one that is a lighter purple in color, or to me, in my eyes anyway. Hopefully you can kind of see this, but that Wintry 3D folder just takes to that matte finished foil like a duck to water, I guess. But it is beautiful. Just gorgeous. Would love for y'all to see it in person. I'll be doing a class on November 5th, and this is one of the items one of the cards that we'll be making in the class. So we'd love to have you. I am going to use the Stampin' Seal because, like I said, sometimes the liquid glue, you can tell right where you put your glue through the foil. So we are going to, let's see, I want this, I think I'm going to have this like that, a little over to the left. And then you should have an even border all the way around. This specialty foil is cut to 2 inches by 5 3/8. So it's a little skinnier border than normal. We usually do 5 1/4, but this is 5 3/8. That ought to be plenty on the seal. So we'll put that on the other side. So leaving an even border all the way around. And then on the inside, I flipped it. I kind of like that look whenever, so that when you open it, it's kind of a surprise that you even have that on the inside. And then the fact that it's on the opposite sides makes it more interesting to me. Whoops. So instead of the snowflake on this side, I'm going to put the Quatrefoil there. And and then do the switcheroo and put this on the other side. And if you're using the seal, you got to make sure and break that. It's a tape, so you have to break it at the end. Excuse me. Can't get rid of that little tickle. Okay, now I want this big snowflake. I'm looking at it. It's not that there's a right or wrong or up or down, but I just kind of want that snowflake on the outer side, I think. Kind of like the way that looks. Isn't that beautiful foil? Whew. And I just think with a card this elegant with all of this foil on it, it just needed some vellum to help finish it off. So I have used the deckled rectangle dies that I showed you earlier, the deckled edge rectangle, I think, deckled rectangle. And it's vellum, so it will show where you put the glue, but we're going to put this piece over it. So we're just going to put some seal in the middle where we know it'll be covered up. I'm just going to center that so it kind of has an even border all the way around. And then I have already embossed this piece with silver embossing powder. We're going to go ahead and do the one that's on the outside. I'm going to show you that one live, and hopefully the heat emboss tool won't be too loud for you, but I went ahead and did the inside just so we would have that part ready. And then we'll just it'll be the same technique that we'll use that I'm going to show you next, that we'll do on the small label that goes on the front. And let's set that aside. And I think we've kind of done all we can do until we do our embossing. I have taken the snowflake paper. As you can see here, it comes, whoop, yikes, I'm glad I didn't knock my water glass off. I just knocked an empty cup off. that was lucky. Okay, so the paper comes just full 12 by 12, either with the flocking or the kind of holographic silver. It's more iridescent foil. So it comes like that, and I have already fussy cut because, once again, I thought you don't really want to sit there and watch me do that, I'm quite sure. But you just take your little, whatever snowflake you choose, you just take your scissors, and I would give it a little bit of a border all the way around. And it doesn't have to be perfect. No snowflake is like any other snowflake, so who's to say what is the perfect snowflake? But that's all you do, is just go around, kind of get the generic shape of the snowflake, kind of mock the lines there that you see. Come around. You can go in a little deeper if you want, and around the circular area. So you can tell that I'm not going in and out and in and out on every single one, and I'm pivoting the scissors, not really going up and down with the scissors, but pivoting from this point, so, and moving the paper. So that's all I did to fussy cut the snowflakes out. And we'll set those aside, like I said, until we get our embossing done. And we're going to do a little bit different greeting. This one, I did the peace on earth, goodwill to all, and thought that went really beautifully with the saying, the greeting sentiment on the inside: may knowing Christ bring you peace for today, hope for tomorrow, and joy in every season. So who wouldn't like to get that encouraging message? So we are going to get my little tray of embossing goodies. And this is an older tray. Stampin' Up! Does have some trays currently where you can get a kit with some little tweezers and the embossing buddy. This is my old one that I've had a while, but I'm going to use it. This is just to get the static off, and I keep mine just in a little container because I didn't want to have to put it back and forth in the bag all the time. And we're going to use our Versamark ink. That's a watermark ink. And just get that. See if I can get that up a little more. Can't get the card and the tray and the Versamark and the Everything all at once. Thank you, Janice. I'm glad you like it. Thanks for your comment. I appreciate that. Okay. We are, now that we have the static off so that we don't get embossing powder where we don't want it, and I just hit that with my finger, so I'm going to go back over it just to make sure. There we go. Try not to hit it with my finger. Let's see if you've got it. Hopefully not sure. I'm going to have to pull it a little towards me. Hopefully I'm still in camera, trying to get where I can see and y'all can see. Press straight down, come straight up. Try not to wiggle or slide it. Then we're going to take our embossing powder, and this is the silver that I thought was really pretty with the snowflake vellum. Get this off of here now. I'll go ahead and grab that with my little tweezers. And like I said, Stampin' Up! Has some of these that are reverse squeezers. You just squeeze them together and then it holds until you squeeze them again. So it's much easier than the opposite way of typical tweezers. Easy for me to say, right? Okay, so you just sprinkle the powder on, get it coated really well. Flick it from the back so you get all the excess off. I think I've got it coated pretty well. If you don't, you can just go back over it and put a spoonful of powder over it again. We're going to close this up. You always want to close your container before you start your heat tool. Ask me how I know what a mess that will make if you don't. Okay, now got to bring the heat tool over. Didn't want to trip myself up with it earlier, so we're going to turn it on in a minute. Sorry for the noise. I'm going to let it run just a minute. And I'll get it where you can see, hopefully. And you just go over it with the heat tool until it gets shiny. Can y'all see that? Isn't that magical? I love it. I've always loved heat embossing. And that's all there is to it. Once all of it is shiny, you just look at it under the light, make sure everything, look at it under the light and make sure everything's shiny. And it just turns that dull powder into beautiful, shiny green for you, or any other piece of art. Okay, that's all there is to that. Now, hopefully, yeah, we haven't made a mess there. I was afraid we might have. So I turned this label the other way. Like I showed you earlier, these are the seasonal labels dies. And they come with, some of the dies match the painted Christmas set. And then some of them are, these are the ones that are just labels. And then they have little slits that you can die cut in there. And it will, you can run a ribbon through it. All righty, we are down to the wire here on getting this done. We're going to use glue dots on the back of this snowflake and just strategically place them where they won't show as much. If you put it behind that silver foil, I'm just going to put, let's see, we're going to have to do 2 together. And this is a little bit different snowflake. I wanted to show you where you don't have to have the exact snowflake that I used on the sample. to make it work for your card. And sorry if y'all can hear somebody is mowing their yard, and I can certainly hear it from my window. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. But see, just attach that with the glue dots. And then we're going to attach this. Probably, I think I'm going to stick this down to the actual card base. I'm going to get it kind of where I want it. Get this where I want it. I think I'm going to go ahead and stick that up. In fact, I'm going to use dimensionals, and you just make sure you only get the dimensionals on this side. So opposite of here. I try to cover up where I don't want them. If that makes sense. Otherwise, I'm likely to stick the dimensionals on the wrong half. So we're going to just do that. Take the backs off. Get this kind of where I want it. Try to get that straight. So now, see, we have it just attached to the left side so that it opens properly like a gatefold should. And then we're going to add this piece. And this is from the side of the paper. So it's not perfect, but it works just great. I'm going to fix that a little bit. You can kind of tell right there that it's not perfectly rounded. But you don't have to use a full snowflake because you're going to cover up part of it anyway with this, right? So on the flocked, I'm going to go ahead and use a glue dot on it too. Let's use a couple of them, shall we? Janice, have you ever made a card with the foil like this with the embossing? I just really was impressed with this. And it's so pretty with just the white paper and this silvery purple color. And the iridescent snowflakes kind of pick up that purple color. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but I can definitely see it. And I should have paid a little more attention to where my Stampin' Dimensional was, but this is going to work. And that way that's flat against the card, as you can see. And then this one will move and open whenever you open the card. Then I don't know on this snowflake. Let me see what you think, Janice. Do you think it needs this piece here? This is kind of cut from one of the snowflake vellum pages also. I just fussy cut out that center. Or we can just put a center on this without the flocked. This just kind of has the flock to match that. So you don't want it, Janice? You think, no, don't use this? Okay. All righty. We will not. We will use just a pretty embellishment. And this is the one I chose. It came with the hydrangea suite. It carried over from the annual catalog from last year. It carried over into the annual catalog this year. I know it was in the hydrangea bundle. Let me see if I can find that for you real quickly in case you're wondering which. I originally thought I would be using the purple colors, but they did not really match. But I liked it's kind of a light grayish, bluish, I don't know, kind of gray. It's pastel pearls. It says blue, Highland Heather, pink, gorgeous grape, and blue, but it really kind of looks more gray and works really well with this, I think. You could use opal rounds if you wanted to. You could use a lot of different things, but this is what I liked with it, and I had plenty, and we're going to put one right there in the center there. And then we'll put one in the center of this snowflake. And then I'm going to put one here, or I could put one up here on the greeting. What do y'all think? Janice, you want it up by the greeting Or do you just want to stick with the snowflake center? Oh, I will be glad to get you a catalog, Janice. I'll get you the annual catalog and the other one. Just if you want to email me, you can email me your address if I don't have that. I don't know that I do, but I will be happy to send anybody a catalog who's interested. Just email me at Kelley, Kelley, at createwithkelly.com, and that will I'll be glad to send you one out. I'm behind on sending cards out, but I have envelopes here for catalogs. I keep thinking I'm going to get several kits of cards out, and that takes a weird envelope, and I can't ever remember when I'm out. So, but I do have the catalog envelopes here. Or if you're okay, we got the snowflake, Janice. All right, and if anybody else needs a catalog, y'all be sure and let me know. I'm happy to send you one. I'll send you the annual and the holiday, or July to December one. And we will just, we did this in record time, right? Hope y'all have enjoyed today. I have we do have one special item that's going to be available for customers on November 1st. And it is already available to demonstrators. So if you decided you can't wait till November 1st to have this set, I would love to tell you about our Join special. We do have a special going on through the end of October that will get you $155 worth of product for your choice for just $99. And they also pay the shipping. So that's a heck of a deal if you've ever thought about it. Even if you don't want to do classes, if you don't want to demonstrate, you don't have to. You can just buy a product at a discount from now, and as long as you want to be a demonstrator. So it's awesome. I would be glad to talk to you about that if y'all are interested. But this is a new set that is going to be in the new catalog that will come out in January. But you can buy it now, and it'll be available from November 1st through January 4th. And the collection includes the bundle, which has these beautiful, see if I can get that close up enough, the framed florets, dies, and the stamp set coordinate. And the bundle is $54, and it's item number 162407. We'll be able to order that, as I said, after November 1st. And then while supplies last, they also have some gold adhesive swirls. They have a beautiful Christmassy stamp set that is framed and festive. And that will only be available for a limited time and just while supplies last, as will this 12 by 12 paper. So if you need more information on this is kind of something different from what's in the catalogs, and it's something new coming out. So I wanted to be sure and share that with you. So if you have any questions about Stampin' Up or joining Stampin' Up, or if you'd like to host a party, if you're in the Lubbock area and want to come over here for a class, I've got a techniques class that's more of an advanced class that is coming up on Sunday. And then I also have 3 classes on November 5th. That's a Saturday. And I have one class from 10 to noon, and then we'll take a lunch break, and then I'll have a class 1 to 3, and then we'll have a break from 3 to 3:30, and then from 3:30 to 5:30, we will have the 3rd class. So we will be making 3 different Christmas cards at each of those classes. And then I will also have a separate gift tags class coming up too. So hope y'all have enjoyed this. And if you're interested in the silver foil or either of the embossing folders or anything we use today, I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all have a wonderful day. And if you'd like to meet some of the Create with Kelly crew members and you're in the Lubbock area, and on Wednesday, October 26th, then come out to English Newsome Cellars. We shall be out there from 5 to probably 7:30. We'll probably be there at 5:30-ish, 5:30 to 7:30 maybe. So hope to see you there or at one of my classes. Y'all be sure and subscribe, if you will, to my YouTube channel. That's Create with Kelly Pitts. If you want to learn more about techniques and tips and new products coming out. Also my Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Create with Kelly, And then there's a group called Create with Kelly Crew, and we try to recognize everybody and say happy birthday and all that kind of thing for our community. We have a wonderful community of crafters who love to help the new people who come in and come to classes. So we've got a great mix of folks and would love for you to join us. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I've enjoyed it and hope you have fun times ahead. Thanks again. Bye-bye.